Let's go ahead and kill this. Milky Way composition. Some of you may be struggling with this, so I wanted to give you a foundation to start from. Number one, break the planes. We separate our grid of the image in a rule of thirds. You got lines going across the third that's a vertical, line that's horizontal, and at these thirds you can cross them with elements, a tall structure, or something coming from the right to the left. That's making it much more strong. Number two, balance the positive space with the negative space. There's going to be negative elements in your framing that you don't want, and positive elements. Your Milky Way, your really cool foreground, anything that you've light painted, those are all positive elements. Everything else is negative space. And if you can balance the two together in your final crop, in your final production of the image, you'll have a much stronger composition. Number three, weight on the left. This is the most biased for Northern Hemisphere Milky Way than any of the other tips. So while you're looking at me from your perspective, the Milky Way here is on the right side, and this space right here on the left is empty. And if you have something with weight, some structure, some interest right there, that weight will counter the weight of the core and come together very nicely. Number four, shape from top to bottom. So looking at, here's the Milky Way coming in, you have some shapes over here or shapes over there that come from the top all the way down to the bottom. So while you're breaking the plane and doing all of that, you've also got something of interest that is going across the plane from top of the frame down to the bottom. Five, framing the core. This is something that you've already got and you've already done most likely. But when you have an element of cool rock sticking straight up, or maybe a thing that causes a frame on the top and the bottom and it looks like a window and you're seeing the Milky Way core through it, that's a great way to bring interest into your image and not just have a boring Milky Way on a sky, but have something that's framing that Milky Way core in a really cool way. Boom, there we go. That is a very quick way of saying all of that. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more, I have a tip sheet that you guys can use as future reference. More specifics on each and every tip, I have written all of it up here over on Milky Way. The Milky Way is not blue. Yes, Roger Clark, you're right. The Milky Way is not blue, and I don't advocate that you should make your Milky Way blue. But I am an advocate and proponent of you making the Milky Way final post-processing the color of your choice. This is all artistic. There isn't really a wrong answer unless you're trying to represent the exact accurate color of the night sky. And in that case, check out Roger Clark's website. You can read all of this right here. Let's get into discussion about what your color balance should be set for as you're doing your Milky Way photography. My number one tip is that you choose a Kelvin. You can choose tungsten, you can choose this, and it ends up putting you at a Kelvin number. But I recommend just going straight to the Kelvin numbers where you have the custom dial, and you should choose one that you want to go with and stick with it. Why stick with it? When you go to a location and you put your camera back to that color balance and you look through it, oh, look, there's some air glow. Oh, look, I can see that I even have some red air glow. You're going to get used to your color and you're going to recognize things, and being consistent is going to make it so much easier for you. If you're a complete beginner and you just want something to give you a starting point, I would say go with anything of these numbers: 3800 Kelvin, 4000 Kelvin, 4500 Kelvin, 5000 Kelvin. All of those options work well. I stuck with 3800 Kelvin. There's no reason not to. I'm shooting in RAW. I can fix it in post. Check out these examples: 4098, 4143, 3849, 4110. You will get different outcomes in your post-processing, so don't sweat it. Choose your favorite setup and stick with it. Color balance is important, but honestly, the color that you choose in post-processing is way more important than the color you choose in your camera when you're capturing the shot. Just stick one and stick with it, and then go from there. And as long as you're shooting in RAW, you can change it in post. Thanks guys for watching another 2-minute tip. Please click the subscribe. Let me know that you love this and that I should keep doing these throughout the year. I hope you will join us over at the Milky Way Photographers Guild, and if you want to check out my course, the link is still down below. So please jump on those sites and check out the links down below, and see you guys tomorrow. Tonight, time lapses. And we're not going to deal with sliders and, moving arms, robotic arms of the syrup genie. We're not going to do any of that. Let's see if we can get this camera to cooperate with the new tech, and it's showing me from not even there. Hello. I'm over here. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in chat. Hey, so let's listen to my audio real quick. At the beginning of all Milky Way Wednesdays, we have to make sure that my mouth is synced with the audio. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to listen to this real quick. So I have an iPhone. I'm going to launch it right here. Oh, but now you have to hear it too. Milky Way Wednesdays, we have to make sure that my mouth. It looks like it's pretty dang good. I think everyone's going to say that it looks all right. Okay, I'm going to turn this off so I stop hearing that and you stop hearing it. And let's join with everybody. Hello, welcome in Milky Way Wednesday. I love it and have some hate for it, and the hate is only in the tech. My goodness. So you've been around me for a long enough time. You know that there have been all sorts of nightmares with tech issues going off and on. You know what? Where am I hearing this? I'm hearing it from one of my windows in the background. There I am. So it looks like I can hear myself here. Let me turn that off so I stop listening to that. And I will take this off because I think the audio is fantastic. Kurt Kai says, sounds good as long as you aim your head at the mic. Yeah, I know. Last week I was a little bit off onto gear too much, and I was away from the mic. But don't worry, Kirk. I know. So let's talk to everybody. David Carpenter. Hey, I'm going to give you my address so you can send that. We're going to talk about it today. The lasers. So here we go. Today is a discussion on polar alignment and how to do it the easy way. Here's the challenge, is that you might think I'm going to teach you how to go into that and look at the polar alignment graphic and say, oh, there it is. You have it. And you just go here, make the Polaris come down onto this part of the ring, check with your app. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we got that. And then, boom, you're set up. No. We're going to talk about the really, really easy way. Hey, Phil from North Carolina, Chester, this is the beginning of Milky Way Wednesday. And as with all beginnings, I respond to those of you who are out here before everything is going this way. So before everything gets busy into the meat of the lesson, I like to hang out with the chat and talk to you. We got Chester from Oh, wait, Chester Draws. His name is Chester Draws, and it is me, Bob, from UK. This is my Scam Baiter YouTube name. All right, welcome in, Bob. And then we have Phil and Chester again. Viet. Hey, Viet, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Viet Win, and he is coming from Houston, Texas, as well as Kathy is here. Kirk is here. I'm going to actually mention Kathy in this one. Believe it or not, Kathy, I'll be mentioning you once again. Rhonda, Kevin, Jerry, Teresa, Hanger, Shelby Diamond Star, which is MaryBeth Kiczenski, JHM is in the house, and David Carpenter already mentioned you, Paolo Bergamo. Paolo, guarda. So we have also Kevin and Alan, and who else have I not mentioned? I think I mentioned mostly everybody. Welcome in. Talk amongst yourselves while we're here in the chat and help others that are new to this same stuff. And it's just fun to hang out on Milky Way Wednesday live and to enjoy the fun of talking Milky Way photography while we are just getting excited for the new year, the new 2022 season, which, it is going to be great. I think I'm missing one video. So while we're looking at chat and reading the comments on here, I'm going to send one video that I just recently sent to myself or recreated. Boom. This is tonight, because it is a Milky Way Wednesday. You have me playing around with these videos live with you. But come back to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it if you haven't already, and I am going to feature the tips from this in a succinct way in another video, because I know that this is going to be worth putting out a pre-recorded video with a very focused quality to it. Right here, we're hanging out on live, and we're going to talk for an hour, but the video that's only 10-minute tip, it'll be recorded and edited and put together with all of these tips in there, and some of the tips that you're going to share with me tonight will be added in there, and then we will get out, and I'll have that on the YouTube channel as well. Someone said my Star Wars shirt is awesome. I love you for saying that. This is one of my favorite hoodies purchased this year. I love it. Who was it? Yo from Northern Illinois, Thomas Turner. Hey, Tom. And Brett Brotherton says, looking good, brother. Tiffany, I got to hang out with you looking at Glass Arch with Royce. Ah, you were with Tiffany, Brett. Yes, I know exactly who you are. Has Tiffany finally started to like her images, or is she still hypercritical of herself? Like we all are, but it'd be nice if Tiffany loved her work as much as we were. We were thinking it looks awesome. Levi says, hello from Minnesota. Minnesota, MaryBeth and I will be in Minnesota. How many days left? Oh, let's just find out. I can pull that up right here, and then I can share it because it is awesome to do and remind you all that these exist. So let me go ahead and show my Mac screen. Oh, what? Oh, what's going on here? Photogadventures.com. Oh, hilarious. Every month, at the beginning of the month, is my next payment for my website, and apparently that was due, and they never got it. So I got to go in and manually pay it. So right now, Photog Adventures is currently suspended. I can't even show you my workshops page. Hilarious. Let's go to it this way. Aaron King Photography. .com. I think that's what MaryBeth was saying, that she saw that my account was suspended, and I thought she meant a site that was the wrong link, but no, it was just that I guess I didn't go in and double check it. So here's what I want to show you. Let's go to the iMac screen now and show you that MaryBeth and I are going to be in Minnesota in 77 days, 3 hours, 51 minutes. Okay, 3 hours is a little over exaggerated since that's based off of the midnight hour on that day. We're not really going to arrive right at 12:01. So 77 days left, MaryBeth. 77 days left, and we'll be out there. And that workshop is all the way down here at the bottom if you want to join us. We have 7 slots remaining. It is an Aurora workshop. We're chasing Aurora throughout the Upper Peninsula and Minnesota up to Canada. And we are going to be doing landscape photography. We are going to be doing Milky Way photography. We're going to be doing deep sky star tracker Milky Way photography of Orion that is still around in March. And so if you want a workshop that's going to give you everything, and we're going to drive you around, and you're going to be in a location you've never been maybe, this is one to consider. Come and join us. And MaryBeth's photography is right here. Here's a good example of Orion at that time of year. Oh, actually, I take that back. I don't know what time of year this image was in, but when you think about Orion and over a cool landscape, this is what you can pull out if you have a star tracker, which we're talking about tonight. 1 more slot left for this Oregon Coast Crater Lake workshop. 2 more slots left for Bistai Badland, but you got some time to join me at Salt Flats, Goblin Valley, and time to join me at Crater Lake for the advanced workshop with star trackers in Goblin Valley, star trackers in North Carolina. So you can join me there. This one's sold out. The first one has 5 slots left. So come and join us for that. So while we check out the chat, see where everyone's going, I want to ask everyone one question. Do you have a star tracker? And do you have a laser? I want to find out how many of you have a star tracker, but no. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, a star tracker. Yes, laser. Yes, no. Yes, a star tracker. No, laser. No, I don't have a star tracker, but I happen to have a laser. You could put that too. There could be a no yes in there if you really have it. And I am going to make sure that I pull up those 2 new videos that I want to make sure we look at first, to give you an example of what you're dealing with when you're doing your polar alignment on that beast. And I'm specifically talking about the Skywatch Star Adventurer, but we're not going to talk about the reticle on the inside. We're going to focus on something that's true and universal for Ioptron, Move, Shoot, Move, and the Skywatch Star Adventurer. So, I am not seeing my downloads. There you are, friends. Okay. All right. You are not going to hear any audio from these videos. They're just going to be me, and we're going to navigate through them. So let's go ahead and open up these videos together. So let's get started. Earl Todd says yes. Oh, you're right. I want to see how we're going. 3 star trackers, 2 lasers from Kirk, no star tracker, no laser for Teresa. I have a SA. Which one is that? Skywatch Star Adventurer? Maybe Star Adventurer SA. Okay, he's got a Star Adventurer, but He said, oh, it moved on me. Blah, 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 blah. Essay, yes, but. Oh, Hangerbird and the green laser pointer. Nice. And no star tracker, no laser for Teresa. We're getting a really good yes, no. Yes for Thomas having a tracker, no laser. Okay, we're going to have some fun with that today, talking about the benefits of these lasers. And yes, yes, yes. Ryan Luna, yes, but no laser. Okay, awesome. I want to scroll back up and see if I missed any response from Paolo, because this new lens that we have now. What's up, Paolo from Hudson? Hudson, I hope you saw our Monday Moment of Envy where we featured your image. You had an amazing image. Chat is hot tonight. I cannot even begin to go back and find it. So, again, if you're new to these live Wednesdays, if you want to ask a question or have a comment that you want me to see, write in all caps. Make sure they're all caps so I can see them quickly when I scroll through here and go, okay, make sure I mention JHM's comment. So don't forget to give me it in all caps. That would be awesome. I have SGP and a laser. SGP. I don't know what that one is. I don't know what SGP is. And Chest of Drawers is talking to Kathy. Awesome. Okay, let's get going. Let's start this right off. And click again. Woohoo! There we go. Hey everybody, I'm Aaron King with Photog Adventures, and today on Milky Way Wednesday, we are going to be talking all about the challenge of using a laser. Well, let me say it this way. The challenge of aligning this with Polaris, but making that challenge easy with the assistance of a laser. So first, let's go into some videos that we have tonight that I want to show you. If you don't have this gear, this is some context for you. This is what you're going to be seeing. Let's go over to my iMac screen and let's start playing some videos together. And since these are all raw, okay, cool. Check out, there is a Skywatch Star Adventurer. And let me go ahead and make sure that these are going to play well. Yeah, here we go. Inside the Skywatch Star Adventurer is this reticle. And let's do it with a slow motion video. I have a slow motion video that's going to make it a lot easier to see. This one, you can go, it's slower passing by. Oh, you know what? You're not seeing this yet. Am I frozen over there? Okay, we're back. See that octans, the T? You're looking at those stars that are nearby. Or I guess octans is more specific to the southern hemisphere. But when you're doing the northern hemisphere, you're going to look at these and match them up based off this reticle. On your iPhone, if you were doing a Skywatch, a Star Adventure or whatever, and trying to polar align, you would use this app that I think I finally deleted because I just don't use anymore. Oh, and there's my house. I should turn off some of these videos before it goes away. And you see the cat tail showing up. Bum, 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 bum. Where am I? It's totally deleted. But in this app that I believe I've gotten rid of because I just refuse to use it, is an app that helps you know, okay, your current location on the Earth. Maybe I should go back to the cam chat when I'm in between videos. So your current position on the Earth, your current situation with where you're pointing to in the time of year, so it knows where Polaris should be exactly on that, because it's not... Polaris isn't perfect where it just sits there still the whole time. It does this, has a bit of a shimmy. And with that shimmy, at different times of the year, it'll show up on there a little bit differently. So you follow that reticle and you look through there and you match it up perfectly. When you're dealing with a lens like the one on this camera right now, this is a wide angle 15 millimeter. You don't need to worry about how perfect you are in polar alignment. This, on the other hand, this red cat, is 250 millimeter, and being so telephoto, it requires a lot more effort to make sure that you are polar aligned. However, talking to Rob Ryan today about his experience with star trackers is that he has found, let me tip this up this way. I love that. He has found that when he is under 300 millimeter, he's usually fine. It's just as forgiving almost as a wide. It's less forgiving than a wide angle, but it is forgiving. When he's on 300 plus, because he's trying to capture some deep sky object, he starts losing it. And it's just the fact that the weight and everything combined, you need to get polar aligned perfectly, and being so close, you can notice any change or shift at all. When you're wide, that little shift that you might be getting, you're not seeing it. And it looks great, and it turns out fantastic. Let's remind everyone about the principle of the rotation. Do I have a ball anywhere in this house that's not a football? An oblong football is in my box in the vehicle. Okay, I've used this many times. Let's just use it again. Let's use this tape. So when you're thinking about the spinning of a ball, imagine this is a complete ball. And right here where it's rotating on, think about the top of the earth as it rotates and it points directly at the sky. This point where it's rotating on that spin point where my finger would be if I was spinning a ball on my finger, that is pointing at something. And if you're standing anywhere on the latitude lines from northern up, you see the point that it's spinning at. And basically, while you're watching the night sky through the whole night, if your eyes could do a time lapse, you would see that the stars are rotating as well. And the ones closest to the center point where the finger is, there's very little movement. And where there's most movement is further away from that star. So then that rotation of the Earth is what's causing us to need to make sure that our camera, when polar aligned facing this way, we get this rotation that happens at the right angle. So imagine, let me jam my hand in here. I need to make sure I'm pointed here so my rotation is on the right angle. If I point down and miss the Polaris, my rotation won't be pointing at the right point. I need to point it correctly up there at Polaris, and then that rotation of my clutch on this Skywatch Star Adventure is going to rotate it with the same pace and precision that the stars are moving across the sky, except that when that happens, you have a sky that's now perfectly circular dots, but then you have these rocks that used to look like... I should bring out visual aids before. Okay, here's my rocks. These rocks have a shape, and these shapes turn into a fuzzy, blurry shape when you're moving. And so your big challenge is to try and combine those images later, which is why I start tracking so hard. To get that polar alignment, do you need to go into the app? Do you need to go into Octant or into that reticle and match it up? No. We're going to show you the laser pointers that you need for it, whether you want to get this one or whether you want to get this one that is actually a red. Let's see, I think that got red on there. I'm kind of delayed over here, so I can't see exactly. Yep, cool. You saw that it was a red color, and this one is a green color. So these things are going to help you the most to get polar aligned. Let me show you some examples of that right now. Let's go ahead and make sure I got the right video that I want to show first. Nope, not this one. I think I'm going to open these up start to bottom. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's go over to my IMAX screen. Here I am using my laser looking through in this room, and you can notice, let me go full screen on this. Oh, my mouse cursor is so huge. Okay, you can notice, let's see, as I go through this example some more, right here. Now, at this point, my dot is perfect. Watch as I move my laser around right here. As I move it off to the right and left, I come into that glass reticle, I can start to distort my green lens, and I start to get a little bit of a spray off of that simple line. When you're out in nature, you'll find yourself missing your line. So let me just set it up a little bit more. I think I didn't completely state something that might be critical here. And it looks like every time I play these videos on preview, it really crashes this stuff. But hopefully we're okay there. I will turn off the preview and watch it a different way on this next clip. But hopefully you're seeing me and I'm not frozen camera. I'm getting it on my end, but hopefully on your end you're not getting too much of that. Okay, come on, go ahead and close. Perfect. Okay, that's closed now. I'll open up a different way. The key thing is that if you're looking through this and you start shining your laser, which you won't be able to notice anything, you'll just see my dot. When you shine that laser through the hole, it's going to go directly at where you want to angle it. The coolest part about that is it's lined up right perfectly so that it's looking at the North Star if you get it in the right spot and if you have the right latitude line marked. So if you get all that correct, like we were talking about last week, and then point through that glass and then have a laser going, you're going to visually see a line go through the sky, and you're going to see Polaris be touched by that laser. You're like, oh, there I am. I'm on top of it. Oh, let's move to the left. Now I'm on top perfectly. You don't have to do any of the inside the reticle, staring through that, match the dot with the right one on that ring. None of that. You don't do any of that anymore. All you do is watch where your laser goes, and then boom, I'm on the North Star. I like it. Then I go back on the other side. So let me show you. You're right here. Okay, good. Get your camera set up. So you will jump around on one side, get your polar alignment. I was looking forever, Kathy, to find this time lapse. Don't know why it's so hard to find it. Where she's there with our group Abandoned, and most of us are using single stationary tripods, single shot stationary tripods and cameras to capture the Milky Way that direction. And Kathy's facing this direction towards north and trying to get her polar alignment. And you see her laser going off over and over again as she realigns throughout the night, and then goes back, takes some pictures, and then realigns. I feel like I'm doing Bollywood dances. That was what Kathy was doing for an hour. And even though polar alignment seems intimidating, when you go through with a laser, it's easy. Okay, how hard could it be for Aaron to point this green dot? I'm not in sync at all anymore. Let me go ahead and turn off this and turn it back on again. Sometimes this is the tech issue that led into today. I spent the last 3 hours installing a completely different system so I can get rid of that delay, but it's still happening. So what's going to happen is I can't use this Elgato Tech anymore. I need to put it into a PC, and when I do it there, I won't have any delay. So I'm gonna have to upgrade my system, darn it. So watch Aaron try to hit the circle inside there. Oh, that was easy. That's it. That's polar alignment. You put this up against, where's my Carson Lumiloop? No, I don't have it. Let's pretend like this is my Skywatch Star Adventure because I can shine a light through it. So here I am, and I see that I am starting to come off of the circle, and I go, okay, now I'm in the circle. I'm going to move my tripod over to the left, and I'm on. When you let go of your tripod and you let go of your camera and everything looks like it's matching up, boom, you're there. You don't have to do anything more than that. It'll take you minutes to seconds, really, to get polar aligned in the future when you use a laser. So let me show you how the laser works and how it looks through this setup. Let me make sure that this video is going to go. Anytime you go to a video, it throws off the sync. Ah, come on, stupid video. That's not the fun way of doing this. Oh well, you're just going to have to come back and watch that pre-recorded one that'll be released later this week and then see all those tips if you want to watch this if you get annoyed by the sync. I'm sorry for that. I've been trying to fix the tech by the whole new install. I brought over all of my cutscenes, all of my graphics. What a bummer. Open up with QuickTime Player. Let's see, without doing preview, if this causes the same problem. Oh no, I'm having a sync issue over there. I can still see it even though I just opened up something. Blast. Blast, blast, blast. Okay. So here I am in my bathroom, and I went in the bathroom to be extra dark, but also to try and help the laser be extra visible, because in the house it's not as much. But you can see that green line that's being formed as I'm going across. When this is off screen, you can see the green line a lot more. When you see the green dot on screen, you don't see it as much. Well, what if I have a red laser? Let's look at the red laser. Here's the red laser, and you can barely see any of it popping through. Don't forget the pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. So right here, this green laser coming, or red laser, green laser, red laser. When I show you this next scene from outside, you're going to see that the red laser is just nothing visible, while the green laser is visible to your eye. Thanks to the way our cones and rods work and the way that this stuff goes, we see the green, but we have a tough time seeing red. We use red lights, or they do, use red lights when they want to keep their night vision, but in the green light, it'll ruin your night vision, but it's also visible, and everyone can see. You can point out constellations. Whoa, look at that, look at that. And so let me show you this next video and probably mess up with my sync again. Yep, I can feel it already happening when it starts doing that loop-de-loop. Let me go out here. Is this going to be the outside one? Nope, that's not it. That was supposed to be my joke at the end. Don't ruin my joke. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I think it's going to be this one right here. So let's open that up with QuickTime Player. So now looking at this outside from my place, watch how the green and red show up differently. I'm just going to let this run in the background, and hopefully my audio is syncing with video right here. I'll turn myself off and on again. And on. Okay, there we go. So here I am in this space, and okay, lock that. Sorry, Toph, you can't play with the lasers. Get on out of here. This is the green laser coming through the back end of my Skywatch Star Adventurer, and the camera picks it up perfectly. When I showed you my thumbnail of this, it wasn't a fake green line. It was the actual green line that you see as you're going through. And then it shines right up into the sky. One note that I should make here while we're watching this video is that if you are in an area like Kathy Henahan, where out in your backyard, maybe you want to do deep sky stuff through the light pollution of Chicago, but you live that close to Chicago or the O'Hare, the airport, you cannot use these lasers as they come low. You're going to have to convince me that these could actually get to 30,000 feet. But from where they're landing or you're near an airport, you cannot use these. So if you go to a dark sky site but it's near an airport, pay special attention to what's going on. Air traffic if you have to, just do not use them if you don't have to. So there's the red light going through there. Watch now side by side, green laser, red laser. You can see how the red laser has some particles that are getting hit, and you can see them, but the green laser is a solid line. At that angle, it looks really good, like it's visible, but I promise you, when you go out in the main darkness, you will not see this. My eye was not seeing that, but the camera of the iPhone was actually picking up that color. And so the green laser is the laser you want to get. And on top of that, I want to emphasize again what happens when you put the green laser through there and you move it around. Let's see, do I do it again in this video right here? I think so. Let's find out. Is this just for the thumbnail? It's really hard to see. Let's go back to the beginning of the video. I think the beginning had the best example. I put the laser up into it, and if you get a little clumsy on how you hold it, you can get the spray to go off on a weird bend on the lens, and the light turns off. So when the beam is turning off, it's because you have turned it a little bit, and you're not pointing it directly through. So if you put your laser up there and nothing's blocking your view, you don't have that black cap on, you don't have something else like your camera blocking it, and you can't see the laser through, just shimmy it back and forth and see if you can get it to go out true. If you can avoid any spray on the right or left, above or below the laser and keep it a nice solid beam, you know that that's the beam to trust. And when you get that as close as you can on Polaris, you will be fine. So Aaron, what happens? Let me just go ahead and go back over here, go back to the chat room, and make sure that my video is in sync, off and on again. Come on, brother. What happens when I got this, Aaron? I wanted to use this polar alignment trick with this giant red cat or one of my longer lenses because I'm going to do some deep sky stuff. You can. Like I said in the beginning, if it's under 300 millimeter, it tends to be more forgiving and you can get away with the laser. But when it's not forgiving, it doesn't work enough and you will lose your track. Now, what does that mean? While it's in the middle of its track, it starts off strong, but then towards later as it's rotating, it goes off in an angle that's not quite perfect, and then you lose it. So you're going to want to make sure that you get beautifully, perfectly aligned. And now that I have that lens, I'm going to have to reinstall that app on my phone so that I have it so I can get properly aligned. A lesson we're not having today on how to get properly aligned in the reticle and be perfect so that I can go with 4-minute, 5-minute exposures with this long lens and get some really neat deep sky stuff. The other thing, I'll just go for my joke because you already saw it. The fact that these lasers are better, oh no, I'm doing it with preview again. I'm probably crashing the video. I'm going to open up both of these with QuickTime Player rather than the background. So real quick, before I go into this next part, I want you to think about your experience with lasers and any tips that you might have for a beginner doing these lasers, using these lasers. Let's go over to the IMAX screen. So, green laser, that's big. This is technically a red one. Or a small one like this. Why not just go this? It's small in your bag. It works well. I mean, look at those lines. The lines are quite perfect. There's nothing really to be concerned with. So why am I going to tell you to avoid this one? The reason why I'm going to tell you to avoid this one is because it, for some reason, I mean, Paolo had better experience than I did with his copy. My copy has failure points. It just, the batteries, Kathy's helped me, John's helped me. We've been out there in our last Aurora chasing workshop with MaryBeth, and we put in brand new batteries, and it worked in the house, and then I went out and turned it on, boom, not working. Not working immediately. I think it's the cold, but also jostling. With this screw-off point right here for the battery and all of it, it just seems to have some extra failure rate that is not worth it. These were just kind of beggars can't be choosers, end of COVID, end of shipping being tough, so we couldn't go with it. But this can work in a pinch if you don't have any other options. I would definitely look for the big fat laser. This one is laser 301. Someone tell me, is it 303 or 304, the laser that is the green one that is this big fat guy? This one is the one you want. This on the back, it has a, this one doesn't particularly have it, but the other one I had, that green one, I was borrowing it from a friend. That one had a USB charging point. So you just charge the battery. You never have to take it out. This one does come with a battery. So if you can avoid getting one of these rechargeable batteries and having to pull it out and recharge it, you'll be much better off. So go for a, okay, numbers are coming in. Rhonda, is that a swear word, or did you tell me a link and they blocked you on YouTube? I don't know. Because lasers aren't allowed in all countries, I know it is banned in Australia. Chester Draws says, Bob. No one's throwing the number out at me. I suspect MS Laser is brighter than it claims to be rated. Do not use it as a cat toy. No, don't. I mean, these things, even though my cats want to chase them, you look at the spray that's coming off of it. It's not a small little point that they can go jump on. They go into that. There's a lot of different particles of laser light coming at them on the retina, so I would not use these giant ones. But that said, whether you're using a green laser or a red one, cats will still chase it. As I was recording last night at 2 a.m., they did not go to sleep. They were following me everywhere I went, and after chattering when I had it in the ceiling and in the bathroom and mad at me, they had to follow me to the wall, so I gave them a little bit of playtime. See, that light is way too bright for my cat to be that close, so you can't do these kind of gameplays with them, but I just had to do it for the video. Red lasers work successfully for cats as well as green. All right, okay, quasi-joke over. And these videos, man, they are really killing this video stream. Hi, Toph. I know you're seeing the laser in the video. So let's go back here, make sure my video is syncing back up again. Off and on, off and on, off and on. There it is. Okay, boom. Hello. So with your laser choices, make sure you find the correct one. Anyone throw me the right number? No one did, it looks like. That number of the laser, you can Google it, use an Amazon search. In the video that I'm going to put up, I'll have a link for them if you want to know the one I'm talking about, as well as avoiding this guy. I just wouldn't get it because you probably end up having to have two lasers like I do. If David Carpenter is still here, this is a red laser. If you still want to send me the green one, this big one, I'd love it. I'd take it because this one just is not working for me unless I'm here in the house. When I go outside, it never works. I don't know why it was so easy to work today. I didn't even charge it. I didn't do anything, and it was working immediately. So, lasers, looking through the reticle of your star tracker, having it pointed perfectly so you don't have any distortion. If you have a move, shoot, move, it actually holds your laser right on there. It has like a little chassis that you can put it in, and then there's no messing it up. You just turn it on, and then boom, you have a laser light going off. And it's at the right angle you want, and you get it right up there, pointed perfectly. Remember the tip from last week? How do I get my laser pointer pointed perfectly? I got to move all my tripod legs. Or you can do Ryan Luna's tip of having a leveling base on your tripod so that you can go ahead and turn right or turn left. The other part about making this easy for you is understanding that your camera needs to be off when you're doing it and then put it on once it's there. Once this big white part is aligned, you don't have to worry about what you do on top. Just don't move your tripod and you're golden. Put your ball head on if you have to because it's blocking it. Put your camera on with your longer lens and then make sure it's counterbalanced and nice. And then open up your clutch a little bit. Follow the Eric Benedetti tracker course and you can learn how he gets his counterbalance just right and how he works with the clutch to get it perfect for maybe a panorama or a long exposure. Get that working after you're polar aligned. If you're polar aligned for an hour and you're worried about it, just do what Kathy did. Turn back around, poke your laser through there and see what happens. Don't move your camera. Just go back on that side where the reticle is, put the laser through. Oh yeah, North Star right there. Brilliant. It is not challenging. And then beyond that, you just capture away. The longer you go, the more chance that you'll lose your tracking. So after every image, look at that and see if you have any sort of loss in your alignment. If you do, make it even tighter and then try again. Or just bring back your minutes. If you're doing it for 5-6 minutes, you're noticing it, losing it, go back to 4. See what happens. Sometimes it's just as the camera is rotating, the weight shift will cause you to pull on the clutch in a different way, and it doesn't handle it well at this angle. So what do? Just reset yourself back up and take your other shot. You're going to constantly find yourself with a rotated camera all the way to the right, and then you're going to reset it back up over here, and then let it continue pulling it to the right again. So you're going to be constantly playing around with that, and you won't have to mess with your polar alignment when you're changing your ball head and changing which angle you're at. And anytime you think you might have, poke a laser through there and check it out. So, those of you who have done this before, I hope you are giving me some tips that I can share that I might not have thought of. Chesta Draws says, Aaron, can you sort out the clouds for me? I haven't seen a clear sky since forever. Can we both work it out for each other? I really want to test this baby out. Paolo Bergamo, you brilliant man, has this awesome lens that I am now using, and I'm so excited to make some great images with this long lens and Orion. And so, clear skies, please come back. Yeah, please. It has just been cloudy for us too. What other things have I not seen? I'm going to scroll back and look at some of the chat that has come through before we end for the night, because this tip was simple. We don't need to be here for the full hour unless you have tips to add to me. No, all caps. Aaron, you look strange without the facial hair, Bob says. Hey, from Alabama. Hey, Earl. I didn't say hi to you earlier. Joe Harvey, hello from Phoenix. Fred says hi. Bum, bum, bum. Chris Whiting, thanks for bringing Wednesday back. I need motivation to break the drought for me. Yeah, the drought. It feels like a drought. I get it. Not only was it COVID, and then 2021 seemed to not give us much better, but that gap between November, really from like September to now, we haven't had as good Milky Way. We want to get out there again. And if you need some inspiration, I can pull some up right now, because a north side Milky Way that is brilliant, and this is still faded. It's a core shot, but it's faded, and it's going to be faded like a north-facing, north band, kind of weaker Milky Way band, and then doing a twilight hour shot like Hudson did. Here's some inspiration for you, Chris Whiting, if you didn't see this on Monday Moment of Envy. This picture is, it's gorgeous. I love it. Let's go over to it right now. Check out this shot. This is the core, and you can see how we've got the core coming right behind this hill of the sand dune, but then the detail in the blue hour capture and really crisp, clear, hyper foreground capture is just gorgeous, and it makes the image amazing. Hudson, love this image so much. It's awesome. So then I'm keep looking for more chats, more all caps. Yes, and yes. Everyone here has had some experience. Oh, not in sync, lip sync issues, lost voice sync. Man, I hate that the video is doing that. I really got to get new gear. All right. Anytime you go to a video, yeah, we read that already, blah, blah, blah. Kathy, I wanted a smokestack a half-mile away from my house. My brother saw it at the top of the 250-foot stack. It was as big as a beach ball, he said. So Kathy's talking about pointing one of these lasers right at a smokestack that was half a mile away, and that little dot that's showing up right here in my O, that turned into a giant beach ball. And scrolling down for some more chat that I may have missed. Aaron, can you... Oh, I think that was the sorting out the clouds for Chesta. Chest of drawers. What's the laser type brand on Amazon? That is some information that I need to link up here. If I didn't have to reinstall my entire live stream the last 2 hours, I spent some time having dinner and then I came back to reinstalling it. I would have absolutely had the link already to drop right now. In fact, Kirk, maybe you can hook me up with an Amazon link. You think you could do that? And then I'll okay the link and it should work out just fine. I think Kirk will be able to get us one. Aaron, I am now using a dedicated Astro camera, ZWO, rather than DSLR. Is this happening with others? I think what he's talking about is he's got one of those cameras that are cooling. They're cooling themselves as well. And when you do these long exposures, it's nice to cool it as you're going so that you don't have the hot pixels you have to clean up in post and all that lost data where the hot pixels were. So it's not the worst to have those hot pixels with most of our edits, but depending on what you're doing, you might want to keep it totally clean, especially when you're doing a star field only. Instead of a wide field view of the stars and landscape, and you just have stars in there, all those dots get lost very quickly, and all those dust and scratches filters you can apply to get rid of the bad noise, you're going to end up getting rid of your stars, and sometimes people want that. They intentionally do star reduction that way. Shelby Diamond Star says it's Green Laser 303, Fred. You probably already saw that, but there we go. Oh, and John Emery says kitty. I guess my cat went behind me. In fact, there she goes. There she goes. There she goes. And so Charles says, because my laser fades in the cold, I keep it in my pocket until I need it. Alan Wallace's Z and V mounts are useful for me with the MSM. Yeah, the V mount was collapsing on us with Bob, but it works really great. And the way that it tightens in certain angles, as well as having all those different knobs, I just wish the knobs weren't created for tiny fingers. I need like vice grip knobs. I need to get something that is a giant knob for my hands. Hudson says, thanks, Aaron. You're welcome. You're welcome. I think I missed one all caps. Nope. No. Okay, I think we're good. East Heavy seems to work best for stability, says Chris Whiting. And keep your laser in your pocket warm. Oh, Phil had the same advice. Awesome. I'm doing more DSO, though. Yep, deep sky objects, definitely. Okay, looks like we covered most of the tips. Unless you have a tip to add in the next 30 seconds, we're going to call it an end here. But while I'm waiting for those questions to come in, I want to tell you guys a little bit more about MaryBeth's course, because I think you should come and learn from her. If you're doing star tracking already, and you have a bunch of pictures that are foreground and sky, and you're thinking, I need to edit these. In Lightroom, it doesn't quite work as well. I need to do something about that. I have a solution for you, learning from MaryBeth, getting MaryBeth's awesome pictures. So let me show you this. Oh, my mouse cursor is the worst. Cindy says this was awesome. Earl, thanks. This was great. And connecting and cloning, and whether it's here versus up
this
here.
is actually a 4-minute tracked sky, and I did that on purpose.
Overexposed or blown out, and how do you preserve that color?
I like your idea of working on the red channel.
Always the challenge is the blend, right? And getting those edges.
You'll notice, like, I'll go use the Nik tool, and then I go back and do some more color correction. Maybe I'll go back into curves here versus where it wasn't here. Like, you see how this
Thank
was
you,
more
Kirk.
purple?
I see that you put that out there. Awesome. Oh, it did it again. It moved the entire window instead of actually clicking on what I'm clicking on. There we are. So this site that has a link now, you can see Kirk's link for the Amazon link to go in and get that laser, the correct one. There's also this link that is going to take you to MaryBeth's course, where she is going to walk you through the process of editing with Photoshop. If you're brand new to Photoshop and you know you have to learn it to blend your sky with your foreground, this is the course for you. She's going to take you step by step. And as you go to this link, you're going to see the entire page of what information's in there. If you're curious just what's included in the course, watch this video right here. It'll tell you everything and how we handhold you, how we take you through these step by step, and how you have online course content. That is the nice part. The best part is this one-day live event where MaryBeth is with us, and we will be going through image number 3, and she takes us through the edit. So at the beginning, we review some student images with her feedback. Then MaryBeth walks us all through the post-processing steps of image 3. Have you ever had an online course where you go through it and you're thinking, okay, I don't get why you did that, but at your online course, I can't talk to you anymore? In this case, and in this course, you do get to talk to us and you get to stop us. If you've seen it in image 1, practice it, seen how she does it in image 2 and practiced it, and now you come to the live day event on January 22nd, she's going to go through this process, and then you can interrupt her and say, hey, MaryBeth. Okay, you've done that 3 times now. I don't know why you're doing that. And she's going to explain why she does it. It could be a personal preference. It could be a personal tip on how to make it awesome. And this is how you can go through the class. We're in a Zoom call, so we can hear you and see you, and you can interrupt us at any point during this live day event. We have a break. You edit the image yourself. Then we come back and we do a review of some of the finished images, a final Q&A. This time we're kind of aiming this for a different time zone out in Australia. And so we're trying to help out Nick. And so with this time, we're putting the lesson emphasizing blending the sky and ground at the very, very end. So those who need to go to sleep on the East Coast are thinking, okay, I can do the final Q&A 8 to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. That's going to be 11 to 12 my time. Oh, no, 10 to 11 my time in the East Coast. I can stay up until 10 to 11, but I don't want to stay up for 11 to midnight, which we understand. So this is our one-day live event. And if you're thinking, I really want to learn from MaryBeth, I want to make pictures that look like hers, but I don't want to come to the 197 course. I want to get an online only one. I just won't have any hand holding. I won't have the image feedback, and I also won't have the live day event, but I get all of the information from image 1 and image 2. You can just get the $97 version only. You just go for that and check it out right here. You can choose, okay, online only $97, full course $197. Support MaryBeth Kiczenski and myself and come to this course and let us help you really succeed at making these images look awesome. The thing about our Star Trek shots is that we capture them, we finally master that, and then we bring them home and go, I really want to see how that looked, and it is a lot of time from now before I can see it. Hours and hours of editing, right? Well, with MaryBeth's process, it only takes about an hour, and she has some extra tips to make things go even faster, some shortcuts using other programs that you're really going to like. So I hope you'll join us for that. January 22nd is our live day event, so join as soon as possible. I saw Hudson joined us, by the way, MaryBeth. Hudson's going to be there, and you can come. You can get the course now, start learning, then I go do one-on-ones with you to make sure you understand it, and then on January 22nd, when we have our next class, you'll be ready to go. So, what questions came in while I gave you that quick information about our course? Nothing. Shelby Diamond Star is MaryBeth, and she said, all right, kitty. Oh, you're bumped up my camera. Sorry if I put her butt in your guys' face. Once I picked her up, I got distracted by the fact that the camera fell. So this says, Aaron, send me the address. You got it, David. Absolutely. Kathy said something, and then they said sorry. So I'll think that's all with you. We can read it right here, what she was talking about. And I think we're good. I think everyone's golden. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for doing this hangout where we get to talk Milky Way photography, get excited for the new year, and I'll be back every Wednesday giving some more tips. Next week, we are going to go into the part where you now have an aligned shot, you have an aligned sky, and you have a foreground. Oof, I want to learn some of your tips. I want to learn some of MaryBeth's tips, and I want to give them to you. I'm going to hook you up. Oh, you know what? This camera is so delayed, it's showing me put the cat down now. That's crazy. Hello? Are we back? Yeah, I think we are. So we will have some small bits of tips from MaryBeth's course in next week's Milky Way Wednesday Live. And as well, we're going to address some of the challenges that we have with the gear. And so if I can get Alan Wallace on in time for next Wednesday, we will talk about Alan Wallace's gear that he has for the Move, Shoot, Move. And if it's not, it'll be the final week of this four-week Milky Way Wednesday focus on star trackers. So hopefully you guys will join me again next week. Keep watching for the links, checking my Facebook, checking your emails if you're on the email list. Otherwise, I hope that you'll join us back just watching on YouTube saying, hey, when's it coming out? Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank you so much for being a part of this with me. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free anytime to email me, aaron@photogadventures.com, and I will be here. You know, this gear, it's not even playing this animation. I don't even understand. Come on, right now. Do it. No, it's not doing it. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. We'll be back next week with Milky Way Wednesday. Charles says that course actually looks pretty good, even for someone more intermediate. Exactly, Charles. Exactly. And I'm talking over this audio, but I don't care. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, everybody. Aaron, are you posting this later due to the time zone? I am going to be posting a recording of this, a pre-recorded video that has it. Now, if you're talking about the course, though, the time zone difference is starting so late, it is terrible for you. So what happens is you will have a replay that you can watch, Bob, but then you can also come to the next class. The next class will start at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, which is far more conducive to the UK time zone. So if you sign up right now, Bob, you'll get to have 2 live day events because we'll work it out with you. We'll make sure it works out great. And let's see, what other else am I seeing as we're in the final last stages? Time even. Oh, time even. Oh, time zone. Yeah, tie zone. Great course. I've been selecting pictures to start actually editing them. Kathy's in the course. She's ready for it. Cheers, everyone from Hudson. And that video is like a minute behind. Wow. I'm telling you, Kirk, it was not fixing on the old OBS, so I installed a brand new OBS that's now called Streamlabs Desktop, and it still was failing. So what I have to do is I have to say goodbye to my back and forth screen and the iMac stuff and put it over to the PC. And I got a new PC over Christmas. This is my new editing beast for video editing, and I guess I'll have to use it for Milky Way Wednesday, which is sad. I'll have to move this computer over to that side and that computer over here. I'm going to miss my iMac for connecting my iPad, but I'll find ways. Thomas Tarner says, thanks, I'll be coming back. Awesome. Thomas will be back next week. Yes, thank you so much. And it looks like I got nothing else to respond to. You guys are all awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to go have some dinner. I hope you have a good night yourselves. See you later.